This is the monitor with the top cover removed. Predominant feature is this big lump of glass, which is the cathode ray tube, or CRT. You need to be very careful around those because they've basically got a vacuum inside them, so they're under immense air pressure. So on the back of the CRT is this big square PCB. This board's got sort of RGB driver transistors on it for driving the signals to the electron guns for the red, green and blue gun. And we've got main circuit board underneath. The green thing is, I think that's the EHT output. So there's a cable goes up to the top of the tube, which is like under this big sucker looking thing. You need to be ultra careful around that because that's got 25,000 volts on it. So this one had a colour missing. The customer said the blue was missing, but it actually turned out it was the green, and it was down to there's 3 diodes in here that sort of basically, they're Zeners, and they set the level of the RGB, and the Zener on the green channel had failed. So this is the RGB input, and down here is that connects to a contrast control on the over here on the back panel. These coils here are interesting. They're the scan coils, and they basically drag the electron beam left and right and up and down. And back in the 70s, when I was playing around with old TVs, usually valve TVs, I sort of had this idea of trying to make an oscilloscope out of an old TV. So I disconnected the scan coils that pulled the beam up and down and connected those to my hi-fi that allowed speaker output. Then so switching the TV on, by then playing some music from my amplifier, it would cause the beam to go up and down the tube. I had a whole load of old TVs all showing these amazing sort of squiggles and things, although the time base was fixed. Don't recommend doing that though, because it's like I stopped doing it when I got electrocuted. These things on the back here, they're fixed in place, but they do turn. They're magnets, and they kind of alter the geometry of the screen. There's a lot of these special resistors, like this one here. It's called a fusible resistor. Basically, if it gets too hot, the solder up at the top there melts and it disconnects the resistor. So they were used as like safety devices they were used all over the place in big old TVs. There's a few over here. There's a couple of big ones down in there. So this is an old Microvitec that was used with BBC Micro, but going back over the years, the first company I worked for made fruit machines, and I worked in their test department, and we made a video fruit machine, and we used an open frame version of this monitor, so it wasn't in this big metal enclosure. And then I subsequently worked for another company that made teletext systems, and we used the same monitor with a teletext decoder board in it that we used to sell to stockbrokers up in London. So I ended up mending shed loads of these things. So CRT, being like a valve, has got a heater in it which glows, so which you'll see in this bit of glass down there. So when I power it up, that will become an orange colour. Plug it in. Right, there you go. So anyway, I've fixed this one. I've changed this failed Zener diode. So it's now a case of hooking it up and seeing how it works. Right, we're now connected up to the micro. I'm going to power the screen up. So we've now got a white prompt, which is good because previously it was magenta because there was green missing. So we should be able to type in some simple commands and change the colours. I think we have to put it into a mode. Okay, looks like all the colours are working on this. The green is the one that was missing before, and that's now back. Okay, thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you.